Welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new, my name is Basma. Thanks for visiting. Stick around for a while and make sure to subscribe to my channel for other fun videos like this. So today's video is a get to know me video just about me, some of the things I like to do, more about my diabetes journey, and so I thought I'd take you guys along, answer a few questions, and hopefully you guys get to know me better by the end of this video. So if you want to learn more about me and who I am, stay tuned. So I'm going to be looking down at my laptop throughout this video just to see the questions. Some of these questions are from my friends, others are just regular get to know me video questions, so hopefully they give you a better glimpse of me. So the first question that I'm going to start with obviously is my name. My name is Basma. I am 20, almost 21 years old. I started YouTube as an outlet to reach across and really just advocate for diabetes and the things that I do. I've been advocating for diabetes for a really long time now, and it's something that I'm super passionate about. Ever since I was diagnosed, I really wanted to help other people, and so through my volunteering hours, I really learned that it was something that I really wanted to keep pursuing as I got older. And so I also give speeches, and I'm a national advocate for the ADA, which stands for the American Diabetes Association. So it's really just an outlet to reach across and get to advocate for more diabetes rights and really to encourage people. There's a lot of hope that I hope to instill through my videos, encouragement, just good positive vibes. Alright, one of the questions my friends asked me was, what would you do if you had 24 hours to do whatever you wanted to do, no money restrictions? I want to say, like, the first thing that comes to mind is traveling. I'd want to travel somewhere, but if I only had 24 hours to do it, that obviously wouldn't be enough time. I'd say maybe just do something super crazy and super wild, like go cliff diving or something like that, like something adrenaline wise, which is unusual for me because that's probably not something I'd really think about doing, but something fun like that. Alright, who's my favorite author? I love Jodi Picoult. If you guys know My Sister's Keeper, which is a really popular movie, I love all of her books. She's an amazing writer, and I feel like throughout each of her characters you really get a sense of who they are, and you grow attached to the storyline and the plot, and she has an amazing way of just writing and getting all those like details out, so I can never put down any of her books. So I would definitely say Jodi Picoult, by far my favorite author. Who do I look up to the most? I look up to my mom. She has really supported me through my whole life, and she's always there for me. She is really my best friend, my number one best friend, and so I look up to her, and I hope that I can be half the woman she is when I'm older. Do I like Disneyland? Yes, I do like Disneyland. Disneyland is very fun. I'm not a roller coaster person though, so I'm not big on like scary rides, but I really like walking around and seeing all the attractions and all that kind of stuff. You start a YouTube channel, which I answered. I really just want to reach more people. I want to encourage people, and I want to make this a platform where I can be helpful, but there's also like a balance of diabetes related videos and non-diabetic related videos, so I want to make sure that everybody that visits my channel can get something out of it and just have a lot of fun and leave with a smile. What do you do when you're discouraged about diabetes? So I try to always look at the positive side of things. Living with diabetes obviously is not easy 24/7, and there's ups and downs to it. But I think that as long as you try your best and you remember that every day is a new day, you know, you're gonna have high blood sugars, you're gonna have low blood sugars, you're gonna have moments where you miscalculate your bolus or you forget a bolus. So I think that you really just need to try your best. We're all humans and we all make mistakes, and it's important to remember that. And obviously it takes experience. So you're gonna get better at taking care of your diabetes. The more time you have it, the more you understand what you need to do in certain situations. And I've been asked before, like, does it get easier? And I wouldn't say it gets easier per se, it's just you know what to do in certain cases. And things that used to scare you before, like really low blood sugar, or, you know, running out of supplies somewhere, you know, where you don't have any next to you, things like that, you're no longer as afraid of them because you've either encountered them or you just know how to prepare better for them. So I think that when I get discouraged, I like to remember that every day is a new day, and that means that it's a new chance to do better than the day before. How do you deal with the stress of school and diabetes? I think that that's a very important question, especially as you get older. I had diabetes for 18 years now, this year, and so I've been through it in different stages of life and different stages of school. And I would say that once you get older into high school and college, that's when it gets to be more difficult just time-wise. You have a lot of things going on, and you have a lot of other necessarily priorities that, like, you have to divide your attention across. And so I would say that to deal with the stress of that, I like to do things that I really enjoy. I like reading and writing. I like spending time with my family, doing fun things like hanging out with friends. So I think as long as you make time for things that you like, it makes dealing with diabetes a lot less stressful. And setting goals for yourself. So make sure to set a goal, both short-term and long-term. For example, short-term could be, I want to go 1 week not going over 250 for my blood sugars. That's a short-term goal that you can work on every single day and keep in mind, while a long-term goal can be, I want to set my A1C to a 7.0 range. And that you can keep in mind so that when you do get down about it or you do get frustrated, you know you have a goal that's long-term in the back of your mind. You know that you're working hard towards, so it keeps you on track. So I'd say set a short-term and a long-term goal. Make sure to find the things that you like to do that aren't school related necessarily or diabetes related, so that you can take a breather in between. My favorite music is country music, and I smile at that because I know a lot of people don't necessarily like country music. It's my favorite genre by far. I'll listen to pretty much any kind of music. I like pop as well, and you know, the modern stuff that basically you hear on the radio. But my favorite by far is country music. I love the message behind it, just the beat and the tempo. What is my most embarrassing moment from childhood? There's one moment where I did taekwondo and martial arts and karate growing up, and during one of the exams to advance onto the next belt color, I forget what belt color it was, but I remember it was a really important one, and obviously all the parents and the siblings and some other kids were in the front, and they were watching the whole thing. And one of the parts of the exams is to kick, you know, a wooden board in half, and you can't wear your taekwondo shoes when you kick a board. You have to be barefoot. And I remember I was super nervous about it, but you know, I stood up there and I got ready and I kicked the board, but I remember feeling this really sharp sensation, and it was because I had actually chipped off my toenail, and hurt my toe really badly, and it was bleeding. But because like I was in front of all the judges and I was being graded on my kick, and even though I had kicked it in half, I was in pain. So I remember stumbling away, and at the end you kind of have to bow like after you're done with your kick. And I remember turning away from the audience, or to the audience, away from the judges, and just cringing really badly and like just in pain, and everybody laughed. And it's kind of embarrassing, but also just like funny, because obviously my reaction didn't go unnoticed. But it was just like my way of acknowledging it without acknowledging it to the judges. So coffee or tea? Coffee as well. I like tea, but not as much as I really like coffee. So if I had to choose, I would choose coffee for sure. Have you met any really cool people through diabetes? I've met a lot of cool people. I've been able to do a lot of cool things thanks to diabetes and just advocacy in general. And I've been to Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. twice. I've talked at numerous speeches and galas. Obviously the number one person that stands out is Nick Jonas, because I love him. And so I got to meet him when I was actually National Youth Advocate in 2014, and I was giving a Father of the Year gala speech in Beverly Hills. and his dad was being honored that year among some other fathers, and so his table was right, it was the first table away from my podium, so I was like looking straight into his eyes as I was giving my speech. But I've also been able to do the countdown for the Indianapolis 500 race on live television. I've been interviewed for numerous podcasts and interviews like that, and I think the great thing about having diabetes is that it's pushed me out of my comfort zone for sure, and it's allowed me to do a lot of once-in-a-lifetime experiences that I would not have been able to do otherwise, and I think just in that in itself is amazing. And so I'd say it's not just the people that I met, but Nick Jonas takes the cake for that one. What is the best memory having diabetes has given you? So this, I think just knowing that I can help people through my experiences and what I've been through, the challenges that I've overcome and that I faced, and sharing that with others is really amazing. And knowing that there's a huge community out there, but it feels great knowing that there is definitely something I can do to help overcome that and help fight for those who don't have a voice. If I was stranded on an island, what are 3 items I would bring? I was stranded on an island, what would I bring? This is actually a hard question. I would bring, this is fun. I would bring my mom because she always knows what to do in any case, so I feel like that in itself, bringing my mom, I would have no trouble surviving on that island. I would also just freak out without her probably, so. I would also bring, I would have to bring if we're talking like very, very, seriously, like obviously I would have to bring my insulin and like that kind of stuff, and maybe water. But if I was talking about like just in a hypothetical sense and I don't really have to think about much of that, bring my parents. So either you count that as one thing or 2 things, whatever. And then I'd bring a good book, because you'd probably be very bored on a stranded island. So I'd bring my favorite. What age was I able to start taking care of my own diabetes on my own? So I was diagnosed at age 5, or age 3, oh my gosh. I was diagnosed when I was 3 years old, and so at age 5 I went to camp. So because of camp, I was able to check my blood sugars by kindergarten, just on my own. I could do that. And then when I was in 2nd grade, I was actually able to give my own insulin injections and shots and do that on my own. So at a pretty young age, I was able to take care of my own diabetes, but that really is just because you kind of are put in that position where you need to be able to do it on your own, but also camp is an amazing way to learn how to do that and be more comfortable, because there are other kids who are doing it right there with you. Scary movie or happy endings? I do not like scary movies. I really dislike scary movies, so I would say happy endings by far, especially if they're like emotional happy endings, because I tend to be an emotional like TV watcher and movie watcher, so happy endings. Do I have any pets? I have 1 puppy, and her name is Chloe. So she is a half Yorkie, half Maltese, so she's a Morkie. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you enjoyed getting to know me a little better through these questions. I really had a lot of fun with answering these and just giving you guys a glimpse into who I am. Of course, please make sure to like this video, click the like button down below and the subscribe button so you can watch other videos and get notified when more of my videos come out. Well, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!